Hello, everybody. This is Ronald Gruya, Director of Emerging Telecoms at Frost Sullivan, and we're here live at Mobile World Congress. So we have a great pleasure to be talking to John Smee. He's the VP of Engineering at Qualcomm. Hi, John.
Hi. Very good to see you.
What can you tell us about 5G? Where are we? I know sort of some of the realities are beginning to sink in. I know there's been a lot of interest, right? For the first time in history, even before the standard is ratified, the operators started doing some trials. What can you tell us?
Yeah, sure. I think if we're looking at, here we are, MWC 17, and a lot has happened in the last year. So in terms of where we're at now in the 5G ecosystem, it's very exciting to know that the study item has already moved well through 3GPP. We're transitioning into the 3GPP work item. So a lot of momentum kind of globally on 5G NR and accelerating the standard to enable deployments in 2019. So if we look at last year, people would have said, oh, 5G is 2020 and beyond. Now 5G new radio coming from 3GPP, the global standard is being set up for 2019 launches. And so a lot of interest from operators, the sub 6 gigahertz bands, the millimeter wave bands, the non-standalone mode and the standalone mode, all part of release 15. Here we're demonstrating at our 5G booth both the millimeter wave work at 28 gigahertz and obviously relevant as well for bands like 39 gigahertz. And now also our sub 6 gigahertz where a lot of focus, for example, on bands like 3.4 to 3.6, both in areas like Europe and China, Japan also looking at both sub 6 and millimeter wave. So kind of a very exciting momentum. And if we look at both the capabilities in general for NR, one way to think about it in terms of these wider band mobile broadband is you're going higher in frequency, even 3 or 4 gigahertz, or as we said, 28, wider in band and more spatially directive. So in millimeter wave, it's a very narrow beam causing those connections. In sub 6 gigahertz, you're going for citywide coverage, enabling that massive MIMO at the cell site to increase capacity. So we've actually implemented on our prototype an end-to-end system now based on the Release 14 study item decisions of 5G NR. So we're actually having that data displayed here live, that UE and that throughput and the low latency of 5G now operational. So it's a very exciting time riding on top of the gigabit LTE. So if we look at both then the research and development side and translating that now into the upcoming products. So from Qualcomm's standpoint, we're very excited to announce the SDX50 product family that takes those prototype implementations now and then drives them into products based on the Release 15 specifications to enable 2019 smartphone launches and global operator rollouts.
Right. Everybody talks about fixed wireless access maybe as being the low-hanging fruit, but what, besides that, what else do you think? What are some of the low-hanging fruit use cases?
Yeah, so I think the lowest hanging fruit indeed is the mobile broadband. So 5G definitely discusses both the high reliability and low latency, but in that very initial release, the focus would be on mobile broadband. Obviously mobile in the sense there that you're obviously going to enable fixed use cases as well, but a lot of the global momentum in different markets is to enable that, initially those handset and other form factors getting that higher data rate, lower latency, enhanced user experience. So as we said with the gigabit LTE, and then you're kind of adding that into a multi-mode 4G, 5G modem, that's what makes a lot of these use cases quite compelling. The data rates are higher, and then you're also enabling that better performance throughout the network. So we have to remember not only increasing the peak rate, but these higher technologies enable also raising the overall performance across the network, and that's really where the new applications start coming in when you've raised the bar for the median throughput, the cell edge as well.